Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at this really fascinating curation of philosophical thought. It's a collection of ideas that might seem kind of diverse on the surface, but they're actually deeply interconnected by one central, really urgent question. How do we actually live well amid the absolute chaos of modern life? And yeah, that includes the chaos of your inbox right now. Okay, let's dive into this, because the answers we're about to unpack, they're hiding in plain sight, often in the absolute quietest, simplest moments of our daily routines.
We begin with this incredible observation from Nolan Bushnell. Several big ideas have come by taking a deep breath, going outside, and taking a nice long walk in the sunshine. There's something almost embarrassingly simple about that, isn't there? Just go outside, take a walk, let the sunlight do its thing. But wait, this isn't just generic advice about getting your steps in or doing your daily cardio. Bushnell is pointing us towards something way more profound. It's really advice about where wisdom actually lives. It lives out there, in the quiet spaces, just waiting for us to step into it.
To really grasp why this is so radical, we have to contrast it with our modern obsession. Right now, we're constantly searching for optimization frameworks, cognitive enhancement stacks, complex productivity systems, all just to squeeze every last drop of efficiency out of our brains. Honestly, it sounds exhausting just saying it out loud. But compare all of that to taking a long walk in the sunshine. When you contrast the two, the simple act of stepping outside sounds almost quaint, like something your grandfather might say before the world got so incredibly complicated. But as the source material for this explainer reveals, you don't go outside to escape thinking, you go outside to think better.
Section 1. Stepping outside to think better. Consider the incredibly vivid, specific details noticed by Marcus Aurelius. He wrote about wheat bending low under its own weight, lions with flecks on their mouths, boars with furrowed brows. He noticed the olive groves on his estate, hot springs, rivers, crashing waves. By any measure, this guy was the most powerful man alive during his reign. He commanded armies, administered a massive empire, presided over plagues and wars. He literally had every reason to live entirely inside his own head, trapped inside the imperial apparatus. And yet, as author Ryan Holiday points out, Marcus kept going outside. He noticed the wheat. He studied the lion's mouth. These walks weren't just leisure, they were epistemological. Going outside was his way of remembering the scale of things, that the world is vast, ancient, and entirely indifferent to the stress of an emperor. If you really want to get out of your head, you literally have to step outside.
Section 2. Kindness as true strength.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how it completely flips our standard reactions upside down. Think about it. When someone is rude or cruel to you, the script is already written, isn't it? Aggression invites aggression. But Marcus Aurelius argues that kindness is invincible, but only when it's sincere. He says if you respond to someone trying to harm you by gently pointing out where they went wrong, with sincere kindness, you completely break the expected script. You literally shock their system.
We call this unmitigated kindness. It's essentially a shock to the system that responds to deep-seated weakness and rudeness with great personal strength. Because, let's face it, most rudeness and cruelty are actually just masks for deep-seated weakness. Therefore, returning kindness in those exact situations is really only possible for people of immense internal power. But here's the most provocative part of this whole idea. Marcus Aurelius didn't learn this incredible structural virtue from his famous Stoic tutors. No, he learned it from his mother. He observed her quiet, simple example, her literal inability to even conceive of doing wrong. It reminds us that character isn't taught through debate or argument. It's transmitted through example. The walk is the lesson. The kindness is the sermon.
Section 3. The obstacle is the mission. So often, we view a problem, like the person who just cut in line or the big project that completely fell apart, as a detour. We wait around for perfect conditions, viewing these interruptions as annoying problems we have to solve before we can finally get back to our real lives. But Ryan Holiday and Simon Sinek make a really radical argument here. That broken project, that frustrating delay, it isn't delaying your life, it is your life now. The mission hasn't been interrupted, the mission has adapted. This is the new path. We absolutely have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. People who actually get things done in this world don't wait for the Spirit to move them. They act in imperfect circumstances, and they move the Spirit themselves.
Section 4. Trusting the solid air. This brings us to a really fascinating dream sequence that author Steven Pressfield had, where he actually merged with an eagle. He noted that as he flew, the air beneath his wings felt as solid as water does when you row a boat in it. He realized it was literally impossible for the bird to fall. All it would have to do was extend its wings, and the solid air would hold it up.
When he asked the eagle what he was supposed to learn from this, the answer came completely silently. And this beautifully echoes the ancient wisdom of Lao Tzu. The deepest knowledge doesn't announce itself, it just silently acts.
And that brings us right to the core thesis of this entire explainer. Invisible things, values, habits, a mother's quiet example, a walk in the sunshine, are powerful, substantial, load-bearing forces. Sure, a moment of unmitigated kindness doesn't really look like traditional power. It doesn't make the evening news or show up on a corporate balance sheet. But these things are as real and as solid as the earth beneath your feet. If you just extend your wings, you'll discover that these quiet actions are what actually hold up a successful life.
Section 5. Virtue, Identity versus Performance. Let's move to and see how this builds with a vital reality check from author Robert Greene. Let's look at virtue as performance first. Greene points to the famous art dealer Joseph Duveen, who helped create the National Gallery of Art. Now, on the surface, it looked like this grand, noble gesture, but it was actually a highly calculated tax strategy and a scheme to keep painting prices artificially high. It was a complete counterfeit, just a tool used for power. But now, contrast that with virtue as identity. Marcus Aurelius' mother lived simply, with absolutely no hidden angles. Doing wrong wasn't just something she avoided because she was scared of the consequences. It was entirely inconceivable to her character. So you see, the philosophy we're exploring here isn't naive at all. It fully understands Greene's cynical critique of the world, but it proves that when kindness and virtue are structural to your actual identity, there are no angles. The virtue is real.
Section 6. Claim your best time.
I want you to genuinely ask yourself right now, how do you start your day? In those very first moments you're awake, how do you decide to start this fresh, new day? By instinctively reaching for the phone? For social media? Ryan Holiday and novelist Philip Meyer present this incredibly uncomfortable challenge for us. Why are we so willing to just give away the absolute best parts of our day, our freshest cognitive energy, to distraction, to doom scrolling, to literally anyone who demands our attention? Philosophy tells us we need to be very, very careful about what and to whom we give the best part of our day.
So the crucial point is this. This is the solid air practice. This is exactly how you reclaim your life amid the chaos. You go outside and you actually notice the wheat. You notice the scale of things. You show unmitigated kindness, responding to deep-seated weakness with incredible personal strength. You adapt your mission to the obstacles directly in front of you, realizing that the delay is the new path, and you fiercely protect your time, giving your absolute best energy to what actually matters. Because ultimately, as the source material beautifully reminds us, our value in this world isn't determined by how many people show up for us, it's determined by how the people who show up feel when they leave.
We end with this final thought. The invisible forces, the habits, the sunlight, the unmitigated kindness, they have always been substantial. They are out there right now, waiting for you in the sunshine. The air is still solid. The only question left is, will you extend your wings? Thank you so much for watching this explainer. Step outside, and we'll see you next time.